Look at him over there typing. A hardworking Jake Coker. We finally get back on the air again, and you guys are ready to talk about Alabama and LSU as we roll through a bye week and we get ready for a huge matchup. He's working. I'm working. Two different type of works. Let's get this thing started. All right, there he is, national championship winning quarterback and the star of his own reality insurance show. I'm just kidding. It's Jake Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie. You're over there working. I see that, typing away. Is that just to show all of us that you kind of are able to multitask?
Yep. Doing it all in my rowback hoodie. Feeling good.
Yeah, I've got my Floribama hoodie on right here. You got one of these too, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Hell, man, I'm just trying to stay comfortable all day, get ready for this trick-or-treating that's about to take place tonight.
Yeah, I got that too. We're going to be dead bears.
Shocker.
I know. I'm blue bear. He's orange bear. what we're doing last year, he was orange bear. He went as Spider-Man for like 3 years too. He likes, and I was like, look, I didn't want him to go out as a dead bear by himself. When you're 13, you want I'm the bigger bear.
Is he listening? What's he listening to?
You know what? He's not really. He likes Snoop Dogg, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, he knows the Dead. But I guess it's more just because I think it's cool. He loves Jimmy Buffett. He told his school that his dad and him were parrot heads. It's so funny. I said, "Did you say that?" Yeah, that's pretty funny. True. Well, we convene. I just got back from the mountains, and before I left yesterday, I ran into a family of bears, like real live bears, and they were just hanging out. It's the weirdest thing. Like I'm in the parking lot, and they're just like on the grass. 5 of them.
I think there's a bunch in Mobile, a ton in Mobile, North Mobile.
Bay bears?
Not anymore.
Yeah, they gone. They're extinct now.
That's right. A lot of good memories in there.
Yeah, did you ever play any games in that stadium, Hank Aaron Stadium?
No, I didn't. Saw Ryan Klesko play in there, Jake Peavy play in there.
Yeah, Peavy.
Winky Gonzalez play in there.
Yep.
Back when the Padres were.
That was when they first started.
Yeah, that was when that was their farm team.
Yeah. They couldn't have built a worse stadium. I've never seen anything like that before. But it was just the design of it was terrible. No, because you had to go upstairs, and the whole object of doing this is to make money. There was no POS, no point of sales anywhere where you could see the game. Right? You had to walk up and down concrete stairs to get to the concession stands. That's why they have hawkers and stuff. Like you got to keep people close to the food. And they had the luxury boxes where the stadium should have been, and then they had the bowl was up top, and it didn't work. But Mobile's a great city. I wish they still had a team. Now everybody's worried about Alabama and LSU, and I know we're going to talk about that. But I mean, we can't start this show without putting a little gasoline on the dumpster fire that is LSU and Louisiana right now.
Matt Moscona, T-Bob Hebert, they were, singing "Death to Alabama," and when we were 5-5 over at some stretch of this season and last season. I'll start with always good when LSU's good, but I like it when Alabama's here and LSU's here.
Oh yeah, I
am enjoying this moment where LSU's here and Alabama's here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. What's I mean, I've never seen anything like this before. So they fire Brian Kelly, which, I mean, let's be honest. Why? Why fire him at the end of the season? I mean, you can have a secret search, Man, but why are you going to fire him during the season?
Again, you hear a lot of chatter. I mean, a lot of chatter from all kinds of different people, and you know, I've heard a lot of different things from the LSU people I know, and apparently there's, you know, a lot more to it than just, hey, you know, the performance on the field is not good.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? That is untrue. The most important thing that any of these guys do is win football games. You could be, I mean, it doesn't matter who you could be. You know, if you win, everybody's just gonna. You know, I was gonna say Hitler, but you can't be Hitler. But you know what I mean. You could be a awful, awful person, win football games, and guess what? Everybody loves you. You start losing, everybody hates you. And I feel like,
I mean, look, I'm not, again, I hate bringing stuff up in the past, but I mean, you know, look, we're about to play a national championship game in 18, and all of a sudden Lane's not the OC like the night before the game. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's not always the case. You never know what's going on.
I got you. I got you.
I mean, you know, LSU, that's if I'm a coach, if I'm an up and coming coach, I don't know why you would want to go there with all that turmoil and all that drama. I mean,
you don't like the governor firing the athletic director who fired the head coach?
I mean, that's insane. How would you want to? How does anybody want to coach a program where you got that many hands involved?
I know.
Not only do you have to keep your boss happy and the donors happy, now you got to add the governor to that list, and not even from the perspective of you know, just coaching football and having a fan and a governor, but a guy who's going to put pressure on, you know, whoever it is coming in and evaluating whether they're worth the pay you're getting or not. You know, I mean, I think it's ridiculous. These buyouts have gotten just over the top insane.
Right.
And hey, good for Jimmy Sexton. You know, I mean, you get what you negotiate, but I mean, at some point, these schools are going to have to figure out a way to avoid having to pay these massive buyouts.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it makes no sense for these.
I mean, the running joke for years was Auburn was paying 3 coaches. You know, I don't know how many LSU's paying right now. It's just a revolving door at all these different programs. And I mean, at some point, it's going to, I mean, I think that's why Auburn's played a lot of close games this year. And I think, I mean, I think Hugh Freeze is a good coach. It's kind of hard to watch them offensively right now, but you know, I think with the amount of pressure that's mounted against Auburn, I think if it was not for that buyout, he's probably gone. I mean, you tell me, but when you look around the college landscape, I mean, there's a few coaches around, but who are you going to hire at this point? I mean, there's
Lane Kiffin, that guy you were talking about.
Yeah, but that's not going to work. I mean, why would he leave Ole Miss to go to Auburn? You know,
well, he's going to leave. He almost did. And remember what happened? It became a distraction. He's going to leave Ole Miss to go to Florida or LSU.
I don't know if he almost did or what. I mean, you know,
I think they didn't offer him the job, or they pulled back on him.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But you know, there's no, everybody's looking for a Coach Saban answer, and that's just, you know, that's a once in a lifetime deal.
Right.
Coach Saban got everybody paid, but he absolutely destroyed the expectations of everybody in the country.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry, I got a Halloween candy.
But yeah, I mean, just again, LSU to that program. I don't know how that governor absolutely, to me, shot LSU in the foot by getting involved in all this.
Governor Landry.
Which, I mean, and I think Todd Graves stepped up and paid that buyout from what I hear. I mean, that didn't fall back on the state. So, and I know that, I mean, Scott Woodward wasn't, I know him and Jimbo are real close, but he wasn't responsible for that extension that Jimbo got at Texas A&M. So it's kind of crazy for him to even start talking about that.
Right. $54 million. So who paid it?
I think Todd Graves, Raising Cane's CEO.
Oh, wow. They got too much money then.
At least that's what I heard. I don't know if that's. Let's see.
If that guy's paying those buyouts, he needs to be giving the people that work there at Raising Cane's a raise. I mean, how about you being an employee at Raising Cane's and, you're making your minimum wage and then the owner's paying off a football coach's contract because they fired him. I mean, what the world right now is of sports is pretty ridiculous.
There's speculation. That's not
Okay.
an official statement.
Well, if that's true, if that speculation's true, everybody that works at Raising Cane's ought to raise their ass up and leave. Pay your people more money, man. Who cares about Brian Kelly and his contract? You're exactly right. Like, and I'll say this. When Alabama got Nick Saban, they paid him a lot of money. They were paying him to get out of the NFL. And I remember Ivan Maisel did a story, and he was kind of, basically it was like on Sports Illustrated. He was talking about firing Shula and Bama fans having unrealistic expectations. I saved it for a long time because I like Ivan, but I just didn't like that. I thought he was totally wrong. And then people were.
Hang on, what was this about?
This was about when Bama fired Shula, and he basically took up for Shula, and Shula was way worse than Brian Kelly. And anyway, people when they hired Nick Saban, people were like, I don't remember what the initial contract was, $6 or $7 million. People were furious, and it turned out to be the best investment that Alabama, the state, could have made.
Yep.
But the problem is that everybody else started following and paying their coaches on Saban's level. Saban should be what should have been the highest paid coach by probably $4 or $5 million. He was the only one that's really worth the money.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they were all paid at scale, then
yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. And then how about the craziness of these buyouts? But at the same time, when you deal with some of these people in these academic institutions that all of a sudden decide that they're specialists of sports, you get just like this situation. I mean, I don't think Brian Kelly should have been fired. I think if you gave him the contract, you need to honor that contract or at least get pretty close to it. Someone like the guy, to me, I mean, I know they lost to Texas A&M and I know it wasn't a great year, but they were recruiting at a high level. The guy hadn't really been fantastic, but it wasn't like that you weren't going to make a bowl game. It was going to be a successful season in this aspect of you weren't going to have a losing record. I think you might have lost. It might 8-4 probably been where you're at, which isn't terrible sometimes, right? And especially when your quarterback's been hurt the entire year, playing through injuries. So you fire. So that's why you get a buyout, because, hey, you lose a game and then all of a sudden they're going to fire you. But at the same time, I mean, if I was the governor and I'm thinking like $54 million of our money going to this guy getting fired, I would get rid of the athletic director. But I don't even know if that's the case.
I mean, I think, after the governor's comments, I mean, I think Scott Woodward basically had to get out of there. I mean, he's in the firing line now. The target's on his back. But, I don't know how these coaches' contracts. I mean, it was Coach Saban. There's no doubt. I mean, I think, I think his initial contract. I remember, I think I was in like the 10th grade or no, I might have been in the 8th grade when he was hired at Alabama, or maybe even younger than that. But, for them not to be incentive-based is crazy. How we ever got away from that? I mean, I could see why Mal Moore paid him. I mean, he was a proven commodity at LSU.
He'd already won a championship.
Yeah, had already won a championship. I mean, he definitely wasn't the Coach Saban that everybody knows now. But he had a pretty proven track record.
Right.
But again, how you get away from incentive-based contracts with coaches when you got a buyout? I mean, what's the incentive to do anything? If you're going to get paid $50 million to go walking out the door, I mean, you hear Coach O talk about it. It's like, well, what's the point?
What do you think about Coach O? He says there's still meat on the bone. He wants to coach again. I think that got meat on the bone.
I mean, I think he's good for LSU. I think
he's not going to LSU.
Oh, I know that, but I think he made a statement about coaching at LSU, and I think it's nice to have some homers around.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I guarantee you, he could help recruit.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if I'd have him managing NIL contracts, but I guarantee you, he'd generate some interest amongst recruits.
Yeah, and definitely get some attention when he runs shirtless around and stuff. How about when your friend, what was our buddy Robbins from is it
Tuscaloosa? Yeah. Roll Tide.
Yeah, he Roll Tide to him. I wouldn't come up to you and say that to do. That's disrespectful. I used to have this video when I was on Bama Insider. Some of you guys that are watching may remember this. I was on Bama Insider, and we had this video clip. Ryan Brown, actually, and it's funny now that I work with the guys at the next round, and you do too. We both do. Hey, surprise. We had the video, though. It was Rivals I was working with, Bama Insider. And they had, and Kyle had this video that was Ed Orgeron saying, like, after they beat us in 2019, and he's in the middle of the field, he's like, "No, this is our house." I played that shit so many times, man, because we just wore him out after that. Like, he got the wrath of Saban. You know what I mean? Like, he found out, like, no, this ain't your house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, again, I've said since Kalen DeBoer showed up in Tuscaloosa, I mean, I think how thankful does it make you that we got a guy like Kalen DeBoer with the amount of humility that he has had?
I know he's a good
process,
dude, man.
And actually, I mean, players talk about his mentality changing. He's changed his approach to a certain degree. Maintaining who he is, but just being a little bit more, from what it sounds like, a little more energetic, showing a little more passion, getting his guys into it a little bit more. You don't hear this. And, I've never met Brian Kelly. Do not know him personally at all. I've heard, people say he's great to be around. I've heard the opposite. I mean, it is what it is. But, when you watch him interact with the media, you watch him interact with his coaches on the sideline, it's almost unbearable to watch, And when you watch Kalen DeBoer in these interviews, and you watch him on the sideline and with his team, I mean, it's just a completely different feel. And you can see how, when things go negative with Brian Kelly, it seems to just seem like it's on its way to crashing and burning, where, at least, when you watch us struggle, and I think we're getting there. You watch South Carolina this weekend. I mean, what a difference in approach against South Carolina versus Florida State week one. I mean, you just always, you kind of get a feel for momentum and tempo, and just watching that South Carolina game, you felt like we were never out of it. And when you got Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer dialing up plays and in key moments of games, you always feel like we got a chance. That fake reverse, shifting tide or running back, hand it off to him, fake reverse, throw it in the flat to Cuevas. I mean, if I was on a text chain, I was like, can you imagine being on defense while all that's going on and not having any clue who to key, where to go? You'd never seen this play before, never on tape. I mean, if it's ever been seen on tape, it was probably a GA hit and skip in June.
Right.
You'll never see that. No point in putting that in a cut up. They ran that at Sioux Falls 10 years ago.
Right.
I mean, you just never expect it. I mean, just pulling stuff like that out in key moments, just the balls you got to have, and the creativity you got to have. Maybe that's a play he ran at some other point in his career, but just the stuff that they come up with is it's on another level.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun to be in that offense.
Yeah. I mean, and you listen to, it's pretty cool. I got to go. I'd like to watch that Ryan Grubb, John Gruden podcast. I did see a clip. Old Nick Sheridan. If I had some advice, I'd tell him to unzip that quarter zip a little bit, look a little tight around his neck.
These guys aren't known for their drip, as
yeah. I hadn't tweeted it. I hadn't tweeted in a long time, but I may have to call him out on that publicly.
the term, like DeBoer with the T-shirts, and then I was thinking about Ryan Grubb if he's going to be a head coach. And I was like, he's a really smart football guy. I don't know if he's got the head coach look yet, like I think he's got,
hey, I like that. I like that.
You like that? He seems like a gym teacher.
Low profile. He's coaching math on the side.
Yeah, right. Like, like he just seems like an every guy, like that just knows football. I don't mean that as an insult either. I'm just like, but you know what I mean.
What does Lane look like he teaches on the side? Home ec?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, where's Lane? I don't know. I not a teacher. He doesn't look like a teacher.
What does Ed Orgeron look like? He teaches on the side.
He's the janitor.
He's the janitor.
There's no doubt about it. And that's what I mean. Just like that personality, like I don't know. Some of the janitors are like the funniest dudes out there. Like you're like in Waterboy. Lane Kiffin teaches the drama class.
Yeah, that's right.
He's the drama teacher. There's always rumors about what he's doing with the students, but you don't know for sure.
So anyway, right.
Coach Saban would be the principal.
Yeah, I could see that. But no, you listen to Ryan Grubb talk about.
Wait, hold on. You got me on this now. Kalen DeBoer is like that really fun science teacher. Like
I'll give him a science teacher. Biology. He's a biology guy.
Dissecting frogs and making volcanoes and shit.
Yeah. I used to have some good coaches as biology teachers.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Eust is ours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think here.
Kirby
Smart. Let's see.
Study hall.
Yes.
Study hall guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's a study hall or PE guy.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
A classroom can't contain Kirby.
No.
Josh Heupel.
I
feel like it would be history.
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah. History or some kind of political science.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hugh Freeze. What about Hugh Freeze?
Agriculture. Maybe not science, but some kind of agriculture.
Yeah.
Shane Beamer.
Shane Beamer.
That's a drama guy.
Yeah.
Now that's a drama guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Lane would be.
I'm telling you, he'd be. Oh, you said if you're giving that drama job to Shane, you got to find another one for Lane.
I feel like he would be. What do you call a driving coach? The guy that gives you
driver's ed.
Driver's ed, yeah. I feel like he's a driver's ed guy.
You know him. I mean, you spent 2 years with him.
Yeah,
I'm just going off of just what I see. The guy's gonna, you know what, man? The guy's about to make a mint. I mean, I'm not to say that he ever needed money, but when he goes to Florida, they're gonna have to pay and pay and pay.
I don't know, man. Florida, to me, he's at that. I mean, he's gotten Ole Miss to a level where, I mean, Florida hadn't competed in what, man, 10 years? Probably. No, I guess they were in the SEC championship in 2020, but they still weren't Florida, though.
They were close then, and then they had the bad year following it, and it was kind of the same thing with LSU. And I've heard from a very reliable source that it's a hard place to work.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, well, again, that place, the expectation is so high. A
lot of hands in the cookie.
Today's college football landscape is perfect for Lane. It really is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he recruits the high school guys that he likes and will play early, and he will find guys in the portal that it's not going to take. There's excitement around Ole Miss. He can bring them in pretty quickly and plug them in and have them play. I think there's coaches that do really well out of high school building relationships and probably have a hard time adjusting to bringing transfers in. I mean, Dabo Swinney, that's the guy in terms of not a transfer portal guy, but
yeah, right.
I think Lane is somewhat perfect for that role and finding both.
Dabo's like your religious studies teacher. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I have to think on Dabo a little bit.
I'm telling you, man. Like religion. Like, now I'm not saying he's like I'm talking about like when you have the classes where you're learning about the history of religion or religious studies type stuff.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, kind of like a history guy. But I'm looking at LSU, and I still think it's a good job. They have a ton of talent down there. I just think that when you fire coaches like this, and this is being an OG, this is what happens when you've been around as long as this right here. Because I want to show you this one more time. I'm thinking about putting this on the montage of my show, my Bama Tailgate shows. Open. Look at that, though. You see that?
That's
me and Dennis Franchione. Okay? Let me tell you what happened at Alabama. I want to refresh everyone's memory. Bama had a good coach in Gene Stallings. The athletic director was a boob, and he fired him. Bama went from being very competitive, not national championship quite, but close.
Uh-huh.
And Florida State was, Florida State, but Florida was really good, and they were kind of with Spurrier, definitely a change of landscape. But Bama was doing it old school with Gene Stallings. They were competitive, they were good. They decided to fire him and hire Mike Dubose. And within like 3 years, like once all his players left, the Bama was terrible. And Bama really bad. And then they fired him. And then they started hiring all these guys and firing all these guys. And these guys are leaving. And all of a sudden, you're with Mike Shula. You're not winning any games. And the proud Alabama brand looks like Auburn right now. And then it's what happens. Look at Auburn. Well, they had a good coach in Gus Malzahn, fired him, hired Brian Harsin. Who the hell's that?
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze is in there. He's not getting it done. And if I was them, I'd just leave him there, and eventually he'll start winning. He's won before. He's not going to not remember how to win. It takes a long time to create a culture of success, and it takes a short time to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And when you start spending all this money and you start firing these guys and bring this and that, you could turn into Alabama after Gene Stallings left. It was years and years and years of terrible, good. Terrible. High expectations, one good year. Now we stink again, to get back to where we got a pretty consistently great program. And I look at Tennessee. They did that when they fired Philip Fulmer. Then they hired your buddy Lane. And after 1 year, he left, and then all of a sudden it was the same thing. Couldn't quite get it figured out. Hiring and firing coaches. So that's the thing. Like, you always think that somebody else is going to be able to come in and save the day. My rule on firing coaches is don't fire your guy until you have the guy that you want, and you got that as a done deal. You know, the whole like, hey, we're going to use the search committee and we're going to do this and that. Man, who knows what you're going to end up with?
Yeah, yeah. And guys are, you know, again, this year there's so many vacancies that you're in a bidding war. I mean,
yeah.
If I'm going after guys, I think my top 4 is Georgia Tech, Brent Key.
Oh, he's good.
Ryan Grubb, Jeff Levy.
Don't do that. I don't like that. I don't like that, Ryan Grubb.
Well,
we can edit that out. We don't need him going anywhere. He just doesn't look the part.
I don't want that to happen, but I love Ryan Grubb.
Okay.
Jeff Levy and Sumrall. Was it Sumrall at Tulane?
Yeah, so Jeff Levy has gotten close but hasn't won. I bet State fans would love to see him get a job in the too.
And I don't know, you know, I don't know if Charlie Weiss Jr. is there yet. But he was at Alabama when I was there, and I absolutely loved Charlie Weiss Jr.
Did you?
He's one.
I don't know him. I just remember his dad. Great coach.
Man, he was great. Smart, you know, I mean, was so helpful and explaining stuff. I mean, I think he was, I don't know how old Charlie Weiss Jr. is, but I think he's a little older than me.
He's a young dude.
Yeah, he's going to be an absolute. I mean, he's already a great mind, but he's going to be a great head coach one day. Great guy, you know, got all the tools. Trying to think who else.
Well, think while I'm telling everybody about our friends at Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City. Keith and the gang down there rolling with Bama, but they're on the Maryland coast. OC, hon. That's how they say it. Back to back to back coastal style hotel of the year. Beautiful Ocean City, Maryland by the boardwalk. Secrets. I'll tell you about my shirt that I had from the Green Turtle when I was a kid. I love going there, and that hotel is really awesome. So if you guys are thinking about your next vacation, Residence Inn by Marriott in Ocean City, it's worth taking a look at. It really is a fantastic place. And the gang from the Next Round did their show there. They loved it too. Jim Dunaway couldn't believe how big the place was. And Lance was telling me that you're right there by everything. Like, you don't have to go very far for anything. But they do music festivals and art stuff and fishing tournaments. And I can't wait to go there. And I'll tell you guys from myself in person. But I had this, there's a restaurant bar called the Green Turtle. And I got, in high school, they had I went down there for senior week, but it was when I was a junior. I went anyway. I got this shirt and it had 2 turtles on top of each other like this. And then I had to turn it inside out.
Dude, I mean, every time I see you, I have no idea what to expect in terms of what's going to be on your chest.
You just never know. I would love to have another one of those green. If I'd wear it on here just for you guys if I could get it. Back then, though, I mean, that was real salacious.
Yeah.
But everybody had those Big Johnson shirts. Do you remember those Big Johnson shirts?
No, I don't.
They were suggestive.
Yeah, I miss the old school logos. We need to bring those back, just in general.
No, I hear you, man.
Vintage. Dillingham out of Arizona State. Like him a lot.
Yeah.
Getting there. Yep. I don't know if he's ready to make that leap yet, but Schumann's definitely getting there.
Do you think LSU is going to get it figured out or not? You think they're going to get a good hire?
Did you hear me?
What? Yeah, you don't know. You don't think so.
Well, you're breaking up. I couldn't tell you.
You're breaking up. You look like you're in you look very fuzzy right now.
I feel like I got a filter over my face. I don't know. Weird.
You look very pixelated. But anyway, as we roll towards the conclusion of this episode, you don't know. What do you give me the Jake Coker odds of them getting somebody really good as their football coach?
LSU.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got to go young. I think they got to get somebody that's not. I mean, Franklin's out of it. I don't think Franklin would want any part of that.
Right.
I think Key's going to go somewhere. Maybe he loves Georgia Tech. I don't know. I think you're still.
Nah, he's out.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's pretty much hit his ceiling over there at Georgia Tech. I think the timing of this season's worked out just right for him. But again, Georgia Tech's got to. You can't consistently go undefeated at Georgia Tech. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, no, they don't have the resources that you would have at some place like that. All right, this last question of the show. Let's get back together again in a couple days and really kind of start digging into Alabama and LSU. But how's this coaching situation going to affect the game?
I think LSU comes out hot.
Really?
Playing in Tuscaloosa. I think kind of rejuvenated after a bye week and Kelly being gone. I think those guys let it loose. And here's the problem with it is the coaching staff is coaching on borrowed time. They're coaching for their lives here and their next job. But this team is, everybody's given up on you. Even the Louisiana state government has given up on you. It's while it sucks, these guys are playing to be remembered somehow, and the Alabama game is really one of their last shots at being relevant in LSU football history. So, they're going to want to make a mark this game. We can't let just the stories and the perception of LSU after what happened this past weekend get in our heads and come out and play them without a high level of intensity, because to me they're better than South Carolina in my opinion. They've got a higher ceiling. They got better players in key positions. They could really do some damage, and I think we come back rejuvenated. I think sometimes I hate bye weeks. Sometimes I think it sets you up for a trap. You kind of get out of rhythm, and then you come back and you're not quite loose or back where you were. The tempo's kind of not there. I think we needed it. That was one hell of a stretch we just went on. I don't think there's a team that's had anything close to what we've been through over the last 4 weeks with the amount of success we've had.
Right.
I think we're the most proven team in the SEC and probably in the country. I mean, you got Ohio State up there who I think everybody believes is the best team in the country, but they only beat Texas by a touchdown. And I think Texas may turn it on, and as we get closer to the end of the season. Arch Manning looked like he gained a lot of he's probably gained a lot of confidence after that Mississippi State game last weekend. I look for them to kind of close out the season strong, but they weren't the Texas. Texas hadn't really proven themselves. That's really the only Ohio State's beaten them. Who else have they beaten of note?
Who, Ohio State?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. That kind of proves my point, So anyway, while we are one of the most proven teams, staying focused during a bye week is huge. And I've heard Kalen DeBoer say he's bringing tweets and comments down to the team meeting room just to keep everybody motivated. Maybe we need to start really talking a lot of shit about Alabama to get them, fired up. Maybe you can bring some of our comments down to that.
Hey, you know what? After the way they played that first game, you know what? They can go back and watch those shows because, everybody, including me, didn't think that was the standard that our program has. But I'll tell you what, they can bring this down. They've done a hell of a job turning it around, and I'm proud of the way that those guys have performed, even if they'd have lost to South Carolina and won their best game. But, man,
Man, I'm just
they figured out something, man. They're fighters.
Yeah, at the same time, I'm really not disappointed in that South Carolina game. You know, we proved kind of like not last year, but the year prior when we started this podcast. You know, that Alabama team learned how to win. They learned how to win. There were some close games here and there, but when it came clutch time, much like this South Carolina game, found a way to be consistent in key moments. And you know, that's what championship teams do. It's not always pretty. We had them back in 2015. We've had them, I think, every year we won a national championship. So that's part of it. You know, Ty had probably his worst game of the year, and that's still, you know, he still had a pretty decent game, and that's more of a compliment for me than you know, a negative comment. But honestly, we were due to have a game like that, and you know, you have that stretch, you're all beat up. Just glad we got out of there, and really, to me, showed us we can persevere and win when we're not at our best.
Guys, the show's brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. We are going back there in 3 weeks. We'll be there during the middle of the week. Got Philip M. Steakhouse. The two of us will be in there. Some of that saffron chowder. And I go with the tomahawk. Good.
Hard to beat.
Pittsburgh sizzle on there, man. It's so good. Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, the Augusta that you can play. We're going to hit some golf balls while we're down there. The Timeout Sports Lounge, which is a Vegas-style sports book. It's exactly like everything they got in Vegas. 20 big screen TVs, full-size bar. You got the kiosks, the windows, the individual kiosk. And what I love about it is if you want a table, you're not going to have to go pay. We just got back from Vegas. You got to pay to sit there and hang and watch games. No, you don't do that. You just go hang out, put some bets in, have a good time. And, you know, we'll, like I said, it's an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. You're not going too far, but it's far enough to get away. Jake, any final thoughts?
Man, just thankful for that win. Let's get back together Sunday and talk about the game recap. Get ready for LSU.
All right, roll tide, everybody.
Game recap, but the weekend recap.
Weekend recap. Let's talk more Sunday.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game. In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it